Okay, this is another episode of Farther Down the Rabbit Hole. My name is Paula Gloria, and we have on the line a friend of Rosalie Grable. For those of you who don't know, she's been a guest on my show, a call-in guest several times, initially for her work with Edna Cintron, who is the person that she feels is waving from the hole that was cut out ostensibly by an airplane during 9/11. And who we have on the line right now is who again?
Fred Smart.
Fred Smart. And Fred Smart is going to share with us some of his insights, I assume, as a 9/11 researcher?
Well, I'm a friend of anybody who, regarding 9/11, wants to put information on the table in an open, transparent, positive way for anyone to consider and weigh and share.
Oh, wonderful.
So I don't think that when it comes to 9/11, the misconception about the truth is people been turned upside down to be forced inside a catacomb, a cave, where there are these torch-waving, insane lunatics trying to control our minds to determine what is right, what is wrong, what is up, what is down, what is left, what is right. And it's just, I think, one of the big things that I've seen happen in the 9/11 and the freedom liberty movement is when people start getting the right vision, the right orientation about how to see the truth. It brings us out of the cave and it brings us into the light, and the light shines on everybody. And it's a very positive, powerful, glorious image to see, people gathering around with the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the grass and the sunshine and the wind waving and the children laughing, and there's a big picnic blanket out in the grass, and you hear music and song and laughter, and everybody comes around this table, this picnic blanket, with food, wine, fruit, song, and that's how the truth should be celebrated. Not as if we're inside some cave where a bunch of lunatics are waving torches at us and laser beams and trying to get us to cower inside the dark reaches of the dusty corners of this smelly cave. And I don't think 9/11 has anything to do with the cave. I think it has to do with people getting out into the light, sharing in a positive, redemptive, transformative way the real essence, the real truth about how this event could help us change the way, the polarity of how we are seeing each other, ourselves, and mankind in general.
So what you're saying is that 9/11 is a spiritual experience.
Well, 9/11, I do research into numbers, and the prime of God is 191. God is 764, which is 191 times 4. And we need to put, the number 9 is paramount. It's the completion, it's the end. But the number 1 is the Genesis number, and on either side of 9 is the number 1, which is the prime of God. You don't push the primacy number 9 off to the side and let man claim the 1-1. Whenever man wants to usurp the Godhead, he will build, and he wants to basically take the position of God, and that's what's happened in our world. We're actually raising kids to believe that the state, the government, the United Nations is basically God, and we've got a worship vehicle called...
Hang on. Just a second, hang on. Are you watching the stream as I'm doing it?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so are this picture right here of the airplane going into the building, I just want to try to make your more esoteric comments more practical.
Sure.
Where we were was Rosalie and I see that this airplane is disappearing into the building, and the wall heals up. But my intimate partner of about 7 years, he absolutely, I know him because he was my intimate partner. He does not see this. He's not seeing it that way.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm stuck on. How do you get things that look obvious to one but not to another to have this wonderful picnic kind of thing? And hang on, I have another call, but just hang on.
Sure.
Rabbit Hole Central.
Hey, Paul, I would like to apologize. I just realized you're not at home, but you're not now at home. Very funny.
I'm at home. Are you watching the stream? It's been very intense, and I've got a guy named Fred on the line after Rosalie.
How long you want to stream?
I mean, if you could come over here, I could stream all day.
We
because
cannot leave the building. We would like you to stream also phone calls or whatever, and maybe later in
Okay. Hang on just a second. Fred, how much longer do you want? Did you hear that with Nico?
No, I didn't. I was on the phone.
Oh, so you're not hearing the stream?
I'm watching your stream, but I didn't hear the video, the audio.
Oh, so the audio's not coming over?
No. I couldn't hear Nico. I'm on a telephone call.
I know, but he's on a telephone too, and so if he's not going through, then my stream isn't working.
No, I can hear you, but I've got a phone in one ear and my Skype now in the other.
Well, what I need you to focus on what we're doing together. This is sort of a group effort. So what to do?
Let me get.
Hang on. Just can you wait and let's let Nico have his spiel here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Nico, tape's rolling and I'm streaming. What would you like to say? Hello? Fred? Hello? I guess I lost both of them. Fred, are you there? Okay, I lost Nico.
I'm here.
Okay, ideally what I'd like this to do is be a group effort, so it's a little hard to coordinate, but I'm learning how to do it, slowly but surely.
Okay.
So here's the problem. Now you're looking at this airplane, right, disappearing. I think it's disappearing. Alan thinks it's just natural physics, that it's going into the building and it's on the other side now and the explosion will come later, that an explosion takes a while. And I find that the more Rosalie was talking and explaining simple physics, even though she had a lot of compassion in her voice, Alan was feeling attacked. So how do you get to this place that you just described? You know, where we're getting out of the cave, because clearly we're in the cave now. Fred?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to go back and say when people feel like they're not being attacked and not being judged, the truth, we need to get the torches out of each one of our hands here, and I think if people start feeling that it's not about me or Rosalie or Nico or you, but it's just for the sake of the glory of the truth,
right,
then an oh yeah moment can take place and people can feel like they're not being attacked from whatever side that their mind is seeing that image, for example, because it's an inflection point. The lie was installed with planes and Arab terrorists and everything else. It was successfully installed with great glory to the darkness of forces of the universe on the morning of 9/11. And I was just fortunate. I had, for 2.5 months that summer, I would tell people something very, very big is going to happen in September. I didn't know what it was, didn't have a clue. It was a very spiritual experience for me because when the morning that it happened, I tuned in. I was on the internet, and I just turned on the TV for all of 1 minute, and I turned it off. And I never went back and turned on the TV. Something said, do not turn it on, do not go back. And it was only until weeks, months later that I discovered Rosalie's work, and I discovered it without that seed that was installed that divided, would have created the divided mind. So I was very open, very receptive to both sides of the story. And when I first discovered her work, I said, this is very interesting. I didn't have the inflection point that said no, not, can't, that I hadn't bought the story hook, line, and sinker. And so, but in any event, for me to receive that, something very powerfully happened. On Friday, before 9/11 here in Chicago, there was a massive electromagnetic thunder lightning storm with wind of biblical proportions. And the next morning, that was the Thursday, the next morning, Friday.
Hey, hang on, Fred. Rabbit Hole Central?
Yes, it just sucked me back in.
Okay. Okay, so Nico, let's let it rip.
Okay, so listen, Paula, for instance, I cannot watch your live stream. As I said, that's why we talk with you.
You've got the line. Tape is rolling. Go. Somebody's waiting. Go. Say what you have to say. You're on.
I have to say a lot. We have
Say it.
updates with new threats.
Okay, hang on. Let me get rid of Fred. Fred, I got to give Nico the time here, okay?
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot. Bye. Okay, Nico, you're on.
Okay, first of all, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, great.
Buffy will join. Ryan is around. Can you give me some water, please? I'm too far away. I have to charge my phone at the same time. I need some sip of water, otherwise I can't talk. My voice is not good without water. So this morning, Dominic Stevens, the former owner of 112, got some kind of episode again. We think it's either on crack or whatever. Mixed between crack and Prozac. So right now I can't talk. But he freaked out and once again pulled the extension cable for 5 rear. This is the most important cable for us, for Ryan and me. I will not talk about Ryan because he right now wants to have more privacy. So we talk just about, so we're doing updates now. Thanks to Jim the Linux crew, we have now our own camera that needs to make clips from 112. 112 is located downtown, close to Spooker Central, where the Day Brothers did their alleged reaction shot. I think on a different layer about this building as the following. It was a former, on a comedy level, or maybe it was a former MIT Mafia, everything CIA connected intelligence operation. Then Dominic obtained it when he was 11. He then started to become intelligent because this house has everything, like every tools you can imagine. He did some business projects with the other guy. And then it screwed up a little bit over the last few years. He then got threatened. His ownership was removed. Since then it's under eviction. According to Paula and rumor has it that New York State or New York stopped all eviction cases anyway. But since he's on a Prozac trip, he still thinks everything has to be rushed. What he's doing is extremely... because I always have to go back. It's whatever. So Dom is around. I have to talk from here because it's too complicated. So what else we can talk about? We do updates. Paul did a great kind of remix video with Dom and ourselves. I don't want to talk about this more right now. I think I don't want to speak for Dusty. I think it's okay to start painting again. We call this here the 9TV fakery activism, quarter creationism. Latest updates, basically, allegedly next week, trucks going out to Jersey. The current threat is that Con Edison's showing up today. I said that already. I assume it's also connected to increased activity here. Last night was a pipe explosion, false flag terrorism in New York City, not reported in New York Post yet. It happened late night. Things becoming more interesting worldwide. Also, there's a pending false flag war between Colombia, Venezuela, and Ecuador. The things getting obviously out of hand. I think that 98% of the no planners are completely irresponsible, apolitical. I address this to the audience. I still respect all artists, whether they're doing documentaries or their own style, and that for sure includes also uncensored exploitation, pornation, and transgression. This is not to be confused with porn. Everyone can look that up. There's clear historical, cultural background for this.
Right.
We got sabotaged on that level also during this week, but these updates you find in 9 video mashups.com in the last videos. Please check out youtube.com/9censored. What else? Do you have some questions?
Well, I think what you missed because you weren't watching the stream was Rosalie and Alan. And Alan just absolutely does not see the airplane disappearing in the building. And because
I don't want to talk about this, no.
I understand you do not want to talk. Nico.
Alan Steinfeld is a fucking...
Nico, you asked me what I wanted to ask, and I'm just saying that as a result of that, I said to Alan, of what benefit could it be for me to be involved in all this TV fakery and conspiracy stuff? All I get is abuse. I don't get hardly any donations from it. I always have to promise people. I mean, it's not.
So I wouldn't talk with this guy. It's verbal abuse. It is physical abuse.
Who?
It is illogical abuse.
Who?
He's one of the rabbits. He's still a train hunter. So there's no doubt about it. He's a hunter.
Okay.
And at one point he understood the evidence, and then he fruit looping again.
No, but the
so
thing is,
talk about this, but
I understand, Nico, but people are like that. So that's one point I want to bring up. The second point is plane huggers are pedophiles. I'm getting a lot of flack for that, and I stand behind your art or whatever you want to call it because I know from my experience. Nico.
I got distracted here from
Nico, stay with me. Okay, stay with me. I know it's really intense down there, but what I'm just trying to explain is that it feels very natural for me to be involved in this, even though it's not such an easy process, because I sense that we can make something really happen, like see an airplane didn't go in, or
right,
when you...
Why you're backpedaling backwards, there are hundreds of thousands of people who understand, and they might not politically on our side because they underreact, but we shouldn't really tell people who slow this down on a very minimal level. Like these Ace Bakers and Malaprops and Alan Steinfeld, they're not a problem right now. We have some personal startups operating against Rosalie. It is all thinning out. It's thinning out. It's not a problem right now. I would not like to waste time talking about this. We have an extreme under political station in no planar scene. We have upload this and mirrors. We need help. Accounts get shut down, and just the same for people. 4 or 5 people don't get help. No planers are as irresponsible as the no-brainers and the plane huggers. The plane huggers, they even can have a cover by just pretend they're dumb or they're shilling. But the no-planers are more responsible because they understand the evidence of anti-fakery. They don't support politically the whole issue at all. They just work as voyeurists. They're jerking off. Sorry to say this. Or maybe September 2001, Fake Odyssey, and other stuff. Jerking off is not enough.
I know.
At least developing other counter concepts, like also need more telephone hecklerism, maybe subway hecklerism, and so on. I mean, why are not these 400,000 people with no plan doing this? I mean, and then here's the situation it won't solve. It is a good opportunity, bandwagoning as self-exploitation, and no one is even sending out a pizza file. You know, this is not just disgusting me, it is also illogical because everyone can profit from that. You can do a very creative project like we could multiple streams, we get other people involved, we squatting back. It's a squatter art creationism. It's not just about Nico, Duffy, and Ryan, or Dom. It is about everyone can bending it. We can turn it into a worldwide political event. It's like in the 70s and 80s, squatter buildings used these buildings as political explanation. And we tried to go to 475 Kent. It didn't work out. Now we called this here the 9TV fakery building, and we connected to the situation 475 Kent, which is the 9TV fakery building. We still have to recreate over there the evidence that it's impossible to link 5, 6, 7 cameramen to the same spot.
Oh, that's a very interesting idea. You're going to link 5 or 6 cameramen to the same spot, and then what, multiple streams?
Well, 475 is put on hold again. We try to close into that again. We hear under extreme threat. Personally, rooms getting dismantled. My room got dismantled the second time this morning. I have no chance right now to operate from here online. I have to go outside. Duffy started painting when he gets also personally threatened that his room gets dismantled. Again, there is no real pending threat for us to move out. All eviction cases obviously put on hold. Once Dominic finds a place, we still could be here until the marshals come, SWAT team or whatever. I'm willing to do this. I'm not. I'm on a nut level from 2-3. I'm not anxious at all. I don't take any chemical drugs. I'm not depressed.
Right.
So,
I know. I know you're not. I know.
Basically under control. If I'm not getting physically or psychologically threatened, harassed, and abused by dumb students.
Okay, I got it. So Nico, where do you want the donations to go?
Okay, it goes to 12 Warren Street.
Okay.
Best thing is you go to mapquest.com, find and locate a pizza bar. You can also donate Indian food or whatever. I don't have to connect to any country. You can pay with Master Visa or whatever, and then send us to RNN, like in Richard Nixon. Yeah, and I put more info again up, and that's it. I might get. Okay. I think Duffy should talk now.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe you can call him in.
Okay.
That's it for now.
Okay, thank you, Nico. It was great to get the update there.
Please, you record all this.
I'm recording it. I have to be up at MNN in soon, so I will do the best I can because I had an hour before this, and each hour that I record represents 2 hours at least that I need to process it.
I hope it won't turn to an Elaine Brown situation, but we have to prepare for everything.
You hope it won't turn into a what?
I said, I hope it will, this year will not turn to the Ed and Elaine Brown situation, but we have to be prepared for everything.
My God, I hope not. Okay, thanks, Nico.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Rabbit Hole Central.
Hey, Paul, how's it going? It's Scott.
Hi, Scott. I'm streaming right now. Anything you want to say to the world? It's been...
Real quick, I was listening to Coast last night, and it was really, I forgot the name of the guy who called in, but he was talking about how a lot of things are man-made, such as heaven and hell. I was just curious about your thoughts on that. About talking about heaven and hell, and also the Bible and how it was misconstrued throughout the years and things like that. I'm not really.
Well, my quick comment on heaven and hell and how we create our reality. I definitely believe we create our reality, but I think that we're very influenced by the society around us. What reality we can create. So for those of us who've had the great good fortune to encounter really great masters, to say that the reality is different than what we may have thought, first of all, you have to know the ground from which on which you're standing in order to create a different one, if that's what you want. So the implications of whether the planes went into the building or whether it was TV fakery or not is actually of great concern, because if it was television fakery, then straight away you have ripped from beneath you your very foundation of what you built up your reality around. And if you can handle that, withstand that, then you can go on to become probably very powerful. Now, the idea of a master is that most people can't handle that kind of jolt. So you need some support there, and a really benevolent, qualified, loving master knows when you can take the poison, because it's a little poisonous to have to go against social convention. Oftentimes it's family and friends, maybe even intimate lovers, that you're going to have to say, no, I see something different than what you're seeing.
Sure.
So you could, if you're seeing something different than what someone's seeing, you could be creating a hell for yourself, because it's not so pleasant to be there when nobody else is agreeing on that. Does that make sense?
It does, thank you. I appreciate you answering the question.
Okay, thanks. Got another call.
All right, see you later.
Okay, bye, Scott. That was Scott Goldberg from Scott Goldberg Films. Rabbit Hole Central.
Oh, Paula, how are you?
Hi,
You're
Duffy.
not busy.
Oh, I am busy, but I want to hear from you. It seems as though you guys are kind of being, I don't know what you say, like that guy not paying his taxes up in the north, where you've got the posse all around. Or let me not put words. What's going on?
Well, okay. He basically told me this morning. Okay, well, first of all, might as well just tell you. Periodically, Dominic smokes crack. How do I know this? Because I used to be a crack head, and
well, apparently you're in good company. You're in good.
I don't want to get into things, but anyway.
Say, Al. Apparently, Al, listen.
Yeah.
Apparently, Obama was also into crack, so you're in good company there. But go on.
Okay. Anyways, he sees me doing artwork, and see, I'm doing these things for the John McCain and also the military and firemen. I believe the firemen of New York City have been demoralized by the mayor and whatnot. And then I heard that there was a pipe bomb explosion at the recruiting office on Times Square. So I kind of look at this, oh, isn't this a weird coincidence? So this is where I am going to be tomorrow morning with all these picket signs that I'm creating right now. But anyway, somebody comes in and he goes, you can't do that here. And I go, what do you mean I can't do that here? I'm doing artwork. He goes, you can't do that here. And I go, give me a logical answer. Because I say so. Anyways, then he tells one of the staffers to start taking the wood off the windows. Basically, he wants to freeze me out.
Okay.
I mean, it's cold out. I mean, it feels like a refrigerator, a freezer. I mean, if it was any colder, I mean, this is March 6th, so.
Look at Al. I've got an audience right here. I'm trying to create something that somebody can put their teeth into and help. Now, Nico has said you want pizza pies being donated. I mean, you'll take anything. I mean, we can't be solving these big problems about evictions, right?
True.
So let's give people something concrete they can do. What are you asking from my audience?
Oh, what I'm asking is that please make contributions, because myself and Nico are two important people who are creationists. That we are the 9/11 movement. We are the TV fakery movement. We like exposing reality to people.
Okay,
Anyways,
but Al, listen. Let me.
A piece of pie, a sub sandwich.
Okay. So Al, stay with me, okay? Al,
You know what?
Al, listen.
I need a bus ticket to get across country because I would like to speak to as many people about morals, ethics, and values.
Al, it's not going to happen here. This is not the platform. But
Okay.
here's where you can help me. Earlier today on the stream, which you were not able to see because of your extraordinarily stressful condition, and I recognize that, Rosalie Grable called up and Alan Steinfeld was on the phone. And what we were looking at was the airplane that sort of melts into the building. And I swear to you, because Alan was my intimate partner for 7 years, I know from the bottom of my heart, he simply cannot see it. Now, when you start loading on to people that you're living with a crack guy and he's terrorizing you and it's cold outside and there's no place else to go, people become even more terrified that this is not the reality that they want to embrace. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Now, as an artist, because I know when I did my piece with you down at Ground Zero, you have that peaceful quality of an artist that can make ugly things, juxtapose them in such a way that you have beauty. And that's all that I'm trying to do for right now. For right now, I want to create a piece that will appeal to people to donate, to give something, to say, look, you may not want to come out for us in public, but any kind of help that you can give, even a pizza pie, it helps. It shows that there's somebody out there that cares to get the most extreme and yet the most natural, because it is the truth out there. We can't use these hangout positions because it's not true. Why go on and on about thermite? Why go on and on about airplanes? I mean, I can't understand with the plane huggers. Why is it so important to have airplanes if you also believe in controlled demolition? But it's just not the complete truth. But at the same time, if the complete truth leads us to where you need a bus ticket to get the hell out, that's a little disconcerting too, and it looks like there's something we have not yet processed. So I was simply asking for the people that called in, whatever their position was, can we take a moment and just experience the grief and the overwhelming nature of what it's like to be in the city of Manhattan? I mean, you are living in a building that is just sold for millions of dollars. And if you don't move out, and if nothing happens, and if they flip it again, somebody's going to make a couple more million if they put it on the market again. And yet you live in squalor. It is so bizarre. This is the great city of the world that is most responsible for the war that's going on. And yet we're running around like chickens, and we're fighting, and we can't agree with each other. And yet, as an artist, that's what I'm appealing to you, Al.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. I try to look at the positive aspect of everything. When my environment is being invaded by drugs, alcohol, or abuse, sometimes I do have a reaction to it. So there was a situation here, and maybe the purpose of taking the barrier off, exposing the cold in here is maybe I have to take my art to another level. Let's see. And what you say is true. This is the city of the world, and we are partially responsible for the war in Iraq and for what took place here. Some people do not get it because they're restricted by their belief systems.
And you can't blame them, Al.
Well, it all comes down to fear, anger, and insecurities, and their conditioning. All of us human beings have to realize what makes us angry and then do something about it. I try to channel my anger and those other things into art, and it actually keeps me sane. It keeps me happy. Now, being in this building, this person who supposedly is the supervisor of the building, every time that I attempted to do artwork, he would stop me. Just like this morning, he tried to stop me. Am I creating that reality? I don't know. But sometimes other people's belief systems do interfere with my peaceful existence.
Yeah, but that's a reality we have to deal with. He's getting $90,000 to get everybody out of the building. He's working.
$90,000 to get everybody out of the building, and he does pennies.
I know that. It's absolutely cruel. I mean, I was trying to soften his heart by going over and giving him some apple pie. I mean, I get apples for $1 a bag every Wednesday. I missed yesterday, but what can you do?
Yeah, I saw your beautiful apple pie on video. Your last, actually your birthday present to me, the video that you made.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Between me and Nico, or I should say Nico, in one of his feats of passion.
No, I was totally naked in that while I was making it.
You're quite the attractive woman. Quite the attractive.
No, the point is I go along with the situation and I say, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but let's do the best that we can with what's available for us right now. That's all.
Yes.
And I did want you to feel better on your birthday because God knows I couldn't live in the circumstances in which you're living in, and I have such admiration because Al, Ryan, and Nico are out there at ground zero giving not just an alternative viewpoint, a viewpoint that makes a whole lot more scientific sense to me and is a reflection of the cowardice that exists on the level of the institutions, the engineers, the architects, and sadly enough, the very people who are leaders in the 9/11 truth movement. Now, this is something I get a lot of flack for because unless you have the time to explain all of this, they think that you are tearing down a very valuable resting point, a hangout point, that people can't grasp the whole truth, so they have to grasp part of it. But part of truth is not truth. So there you go. That's why I support you guys as much as I can. But I also have to have my healthy boundaries too.
Yes, two sides to everything.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Paula.
Oh, yeah. I love you guys. What can I say? And I really hope you can work it out with Dominic. And I think Dominic will be sad to leave the building too because I think he's very associated with it. And 12 Warren Street is a huge energy spot. He was right there when the buildings, the World Trade Center came down. He breathed all the awful stuff. I was at an ashram in India. Alan was in Hawaii. But all of us New Yorkers, or however we're associated with New York, have continued to be affected. And I just want to remind you that today is a very, very holy day in India. It's Shiva Ratri, and it's the marriage of heaven and earth, or the male and the female, and it has to do with activating the divine energy of the feminine, which is the Shakti, which gives the power that can run through. And if we have the fortitude, the strength, the blessings to have good knowledge, we can do miracles, basically.
Oh, yes. All of us can achieve miracles. I mean, magic happens every day of my life.
Yeah.
This is why I claimed on your interview down at Ground Zero that life is a beautiful dream. Enjoy it.
Right, right. And what I really liked about that interview, Al, was that afterwards, when I did go over to We Are Change, I certainly didn't go over to antagonize. And Sabrina had been a guest on my show. I was just wanting to say, can't we come forward and embrace a greater reality and move faster? I didn't want to make anybody wrong. I'm just saying I wanted to try to carve out a little space for the 9/11 TV fakery and to show people the fear that you have that this is scary and they're going to come after you is probably the worst lie that you've bought. We are as free as we allow ourselves to be. That's what I was trying to show. And I felt that the beauty and the harmony of our interview, I love that interview. And that interview, Manhattan Neighborhood Network is going to be able to relate to. I think this kind of a piece that I'm doing right now is a little too wild for 600,000 homes in Manhattan. But for those truth seekers who really want to know what's going on behind the scenes, that's why I say creating is a messy process and a painful process.
Yes, it is. The only thing I didn't like about the interview was when you said that you got a donation and that you were going to buy us pizza. I should have emphasized that me and Nico do need donations because we barely survive on $10 a day or whatever. I mean,
no, Al, let me explain that. I got a donation of $25. That's all I've gotten that's come through on my website. So I pretty much spent all of that on the pizza. That's what I'm saying. The first place I went to, you know, it wasn't to try to resolve my problems, because I've got them too. And I've got to get videotapes. There's so often I haven't recorded shows because I don't have tape. So I didn't mean to put down that I'm only going to buy you a pizza because I got a $100 donation. I did not. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm not. No. When you brought that up, I thought that was a good. I should have used that advantage and said, "Oh, you got a donation." Yes. We would like donations so we can continue what we do. But
right.
You know, sometimes.
Hang on just a second. I've got another call. Rabbit Hole Central.
If you can make conference call, I'm ready.
I need one number where I can call back.
Well, I don't have my number. I don't have his number. 1 second. Put my cell phone on. Can you organize conference call with Dr. Me?
Yeah, I'd like to have a conference. I need one number.
Okay, to give out your number? Huh? Paula.
Yeah.
917.
917.
628.
628.
60. 12.
12.
So
Okay.
I hang up and you call back. Is that the procedure?
Yeah, that's right. Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, Al?
Yes.
Oh, dear. Nico should have been the one. Is this your number? 628-6012?
Yes, this is my number. The
Okay.
917-628-6012.
Okay, then let's hang up and have Nico call me back so I can get both of you on. Okay, bye.
I'm hanging up.
Okay, they're both hung up now, and they're going to call me back so I can get a conference call going. At least I need one of them, and then I get the other, and then I tie them in, because that's how it works here. Rabbit Hole Central.
Okay, it's me again.
Okay,
Nico
hang on.
RNN. Say, hang in there.
Okay,
Nico.
Okay, Nico, you're there, and now we got Al.
Good.
And as soon as he picks up, you guys
I
can
would
do
like
your
to give
thing.
some technical updates.
Okay.
And being in a conference talk with Duffy, I'm hearing it ringing, but obviously
Why?
it's not ringing here.
He's
Duffy, why your
he's
phone
got to
not
pick
ringing?
it up. Nothing I can do unless he picks it up.
You have to catch and talk with feedback. I have no problem with it. Just one quick technical update, and Duffy should continue talking. And then whenever time is ready for me again, I talk and so on. Most important is our mail server got sabotaged. Is this recorded now?
It's recording, but the stream I'm having trouble with. I'm screwing around with it.
I'm not concerned with the stream. I'm
It's-
interested.
tape is rolling. Tape
Okay.
is rolling.
So, our web server, mail server got sabotaged. Officially, there's a bug, so I cannot use Horde anymore. It is a former web program for 9 close-up. The problem is, if you use another mail program, it doesn't make multiple BCCs. So basically it gets sabotaged over 9 close-up. Administrator, which is not Rosalie, it's not connected. It's connected with some internal, I guess it's a hack. So I cannot send emails right now more than 650. I have to go over the Yahoo way, which reduces me to much less 100. That's the technical update. It's all happened in the last 24 hours. Okay?
Okay.
Here's back. I'm hanging in there, so I think Duff is next.
Well, we're talking sabotage now?
It's an internet mail.
Okay, well, I really don't understand what you were talking about, but yes, we are being sabotaged, and my creativity is being sabotaged. Now my battery is bleeding, it's leaking energy or losing karma. It may even blink out during this interview. I don't know what to say. I'm in a... Oh, no, it's just that I'm working on a project and an interview is going on. I try to do my best. I try to serve mankind, and it really seems like I get the short end of the deal. So,
Can I make a suggestion, Al? An observation of mine. I think it's a responsibility of every person who is seeking after truth, which I think is every human being, really.
Oh, there's no planners. You cannot hope any longer on the rest. You know what I think is plain I can hope right now is John Gold. Because he's the nicest guy right now. He organized all stuff. His girl, Betty or Betsy. I mean, the rest is just a disgusting piece of shit. And I hope that John Gold, Duffy, and me one day will camp all plane huggers, no-brainers, and apolitical no-planers into Abu Ghraib and enjoy how they get waterboarded. And I would like, we need cross promoters for War on 12. We need people showing up here with cameras. They can film us. Would like to invite you again. They fired our favorite, the doorman, because he was too close to us. We called him Adolfo Hilter in a show. He did nude pictures of Duffy, which got removed. So there's a lot of ongoing interesting details, and we don't make anything up. And if we don't use the word paranoia, we use the word pronoia, and we're not paranoid at all. It's a very nice language.
I know. I love that.
Minimize.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, so every time when we see a personal pronoia alert, we try to analyze the situation, and we very good military discipline to reduce it immediately to a minimum of nothing. So there's no emotion. I mean, on that level, we have ourselves under control.
Yes, excellent, excellent.
that sounded excellent, Nico. I call Nico like my alter ego.
Well, he's my former father figure.
I look at him as an aspect of myself. Huh?
Hey, you guys, my father's on the phone. Can we wrap this up? I want to talk to my dad.
I'm done for now. Can you call us back for, when you,
No, I
whenever
can't.
you like to continue recording? Or
No, I
streaming
can't because I have to
I'd
be
like
up
to
at...
especially call back when Con Edison is here.
Look at... No, listen. I'm going to blow off my dad for 10 minutes, but I have 2 hours to compress, to
Call
upload,
back
to
whenever you
download.
like. And especially, I think it's interesting when Con Edison is here, because they allegedly want to shut down the electricity.
Okay.
You get that note?
Yeah, I got that note. Okay, see you
hang
guys
up
later.
Duffy's signal.
Okay, I can't hang it up. Do you have anything more you want to say?
She has to interrupt that signal.
Okay, I'm calling my dad. That's it. The stream is over. I'm calling my dad. So there you are. The point is, be not paranoid, be pronoid, so proactive. So the idea is that all this is sort of messy and unpleasant and painful, but you get through it and you move into something much greater. So actually, maybe I could get my dad on the phone. But I have to roll him in here.